du Soleil, we do this all the time, we won't fall. And I'm like, get back in the basket, you're freaking me out. I go, you're gonna fall if the pilot collapses, so get back in the basket. And I'm not ready to faint because you're freaking me out. So they got back in the basket.
Do you think they were on drugs?
No, they just love to show off. They're adrenaline junkies.
Oh, okay.
Making me crazy, you know?
Yeah.
No, they weren't on drugs. No, they actually probably some of the purest people in the world. I mean, they are just athletes. They're the best. They're a little bit overconfident, I think, personally. Coming down low to show you the kind of control we can do here. And if we, as we approach the mountain, if we're still approaching it, looks like we will be, we'll just kind of creep up the mountain, and we'll be able to do like one of those Omnimax movies, like To Fly.
Take a picture of
Shadow.
Shadow.
So it's kind of
Oh, you
cool.
did? Yeah. That's kind of neat.
Here's Shadow over here, by the way. This is the time, by the way, to watch for kit fox, for coyotes, for desert tortoises, for little rabbits and ground squirrels and those kind of things.
What's a kit fox?
Kit fox is, it looks like a little dog. It's kind of reddish colored fox.
Okay.
Once a while.
And they actually live here. I saw 2 in one day one time when I was here. So it's pretty neat. It was actually along this ridge line up here too, so we got to watch it when we go over just to see if we can see them. Now this is a good direction, although I'm going very slow. But so I'm going to just creep up the mountain here and do that. Now some of my other interesting passengers that I had, one day I was talking about how high we were, and the guy goes, are you talking about MSL or AGL? And I go, you're a pilot. Okay, what do you do? And he was like kind of sheepish about it, and he's like, oh, you know, didn't really want to tell me. And I'm like, well, come on, what do you fly? I'm thinking Cessna or, you know, Piper Cub or something. Dude's an F-22 pilot. Come on. I gave him the whole bow. I'm not worthy. You know? And the kid is like as young as my son. I have a 21-year-old son. He's not that young, but he's like probably 25, 27. Like you guys are younger than me. I couldn't believe it. So he got to fly the rest of the flight with me and everything. And he ended up buying a balloon. He's one of my Facebook friends. So if you guys become Facebook friends with me, you can see him. His last name is Shellhorse. He was actually down here at the time because they had actually grounded the F-22s because they were having some problem with people dying, unfortunately, from lack of oxygen or something. I don't know what it was exactly. But he and his wife got to take a trip to Vegas, and that was kind of cool too. But anyway, he went out and bought a balloon afterwards because he said, Sheldon, he goes, I love to fly fast, don't get me wrong. But he goes, there's nothing better than being able to enjoy what I'm looking at on the ground. He goes, normally when I'm flying the F-22, I'm going by and I'm thinking 20 miles ahead of me. And this thing I can actually truly enjoy flying, you know. And it's pretty neat. See how we're just totally changing direction now? We're going that way now?
Yeah.
Kind of weird, huh? We're still moving toward the mountain, but we're kind of moving toward the mountain that way, which is actually a great direction as well, because there's that mine over there, that's the really pointy mountain, and sometimes we get to go right over that. And sometimes there's a guy that lives there that mines, and he doesn't say whether or not he's getting gold out of there, but I bet he is. He's out there living in the summertime out here, you know.
Yeah.
So. Now my other interesting passenger I had one day, same thing, I was asking about, talking about altitude, and the guy goes, oh, are you talking about MSL or AGL? And AGL, by the way, is above ground level, MSL is mean sea level. So when he says that, I go, you're a pilot, okay, what do you fly? And he was, again, kind of sheepish about it and everything, and I'm like, okay, come on, what do you fly? And he's like, well, I've been on a space shuttle, you know. I wasn't the pilot, but I was the medic, you know, the doctor that was involved with them, you know. Same thing, I'm not worthy, you can fly my balloon, come on. He's like, I don't believe it. And I went home, checked him out. Yes, he's a space shuttle pilot. Not pilot, but space shuttle person. And another time, this was actually just a couple weeks ago, I have this guy who walks up, and the dude is 6'11". He's an NBA, retired NBA player. And